All right, good morning. Welcome to the London session. I hope you're doing well. Okay, um, I hope you can hear me. So, this morning we've had some sell off on dollar index, and that's normal. We think we are retracing. I don't think this is a reversal, right? For reversal, we have to break market structure, but you can see it traded to an imbalance down here and is currently reversing. The pair that I would like to see continue with the trend, because I'm still bullish on dollar, right? So with this reversal, we had some trade ideas on the the New Zealand. So we kind of sticking with this one here, expecting lower prices, all right, with the frame of mind that the dollar index is gonna continue going up. Okay, so we are selling between this high and that low, retracement to optimal trade entry with our stop loss above that high. I'll put the stop loss a little bit higher because of the gap that we have above it, so I'm covering this as well, just in case, right? They go and run that high, they just they just don't stop us out and then come down. So I've given a bit of a allowance space. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting on this pair. Aussie, same thing. We had a trade in here. Overnight, the New Zealand did drop and give us some pretty decent profit, right? But I was asleep, so I didn't see that happening. If you were awake and you got something out of it, well done. I was asleep, so I didn't see any of this happening. Euro has just taken out a previous week high. You can see over here. Right, they've just taken out a previous week high. So, in my mind, I think it's gonna reject. Right, hence that's why I'm looking for a continuation or reversal on dollar. Okay, so let's see if that's gonna be the case for this morning. This morning I'm not gonna spend too much time because most of the things, because they've rallied or they've dropped significantly this morning, most of the movement is going to happen in the New York session. So I will wait for that New York session. But euro, we've just taken our previous week high. That can cause the market to kind of reject. So if you do like trading reversals, then use the weekly high as the PDRA, and then you can see it's trading nicely down. Drop. So this one's supposed to continue dropping. All right. Pound. This pair, I don't know what it's trying to do. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what it's trying to do. Okay, it's just too complicated in terms of whether it wants to go up or go down. Because in my mind, I was thinking this is a pullback, and we should come back and attack this high relative to the H4. All right, so I have a bullish bias, but it contradicts with what the dollar is doing. Hence, I'm gonna be hands off with what is happening here, unless I see something that is really clean. So far, I've not seen anything that is standing out for me to participate in a trade. So I'm gonna sit on my hands on the British pound and then wait till I see something that makes sense to me, and then I can participate in it. For now, nothing is making sense, so I'm gonna leave that. Only thing that makes sense is these two here with that sell. Euro pound, yesterday I had a beautiful buy in here, and today, but I got out too early. I got out above this high, which is okay. Nothing wrong with that, but I missed out on the continuation. I got a long yesterday. So for the VIP members, right? That notification that I sent yesterday that they are going to run this equal high. So if you got the sell from what I gave earlier, close it. What I was seeing was a break in market structure, so this was just a pullback to go and attack those equal high. That's why I mentioned to kind of close that trade, because it wasn't gonna continue going lower, and then it came back up. And I think at the beginning of the week I told you where price is likely to trade to, right? It's likely to trade to between this high and that low. It's gonna trade to the optimal trade entry. Okay, so that was the reason why, the narrative changed here for me when they gave that break in market structure, and then it pulled back to send it up there. And then yesterday, this H4 candle, right, going above those equal highs gave me another signal that they might potentially run one more time higher. So when it pulled back in here, I went long again, and I collapsed the trade above this high. So right now I'm watching to see, does it want to continue going higher, or does it reverse? All right, so I'm not picking up. This is a gap I'm watching. Right now, two things: you can either sell that gap, okay, leave your stop loss. I wouldn't leave it above that high because it's a weekly high and they've come very far. I wasn't expecting them to go that high, so there might be a potential that they can take out this high, right, before going down, or even entirely continue going higher. So if I'm going to be wrong, I don't want to be wrong and then be right. So you can leave about 5 to 10 pips above that high and then anticipate something like this to reverse and come all the way back down. It might not happen, everything might not happen today, but that will be the scenario going forward, right? If not, then just sit on your hands and wait. Price is gonna give you, like it's doing right now, right? It's gonna give you something like that. Then you use this as the sell. Okay, so that's what you can do on this pair right now. Either wait for it to give you an order block, or do this, and then let's see if they will push price down. Okay, gold, I think gold is gonna trade down here. I was staring at the screen from afar and it feels like gold might trade down here, simply because we had price making high highs, and then break down. Okay, so to me it looks like they want to come down a little bit more. So optimal trade entry is the first target, which they have reached, right? So I would think it might come all the way back down here based on what I'm seeing on the daily as well. Because if you look at the daily, right, if you take this high, take that low right there, right, that's optimal trade entry. So it has the potential to come all the way back down. Zooming in on the daily, inside this candle here, this down candle, we go on to the lower time frame. There's going to be some form of a imbalance that price might come back down for. It's a 5 minutes chart. Let's go to the 15. Yeah, I don't see anything in here. That's why I think they might probably attack this equal lows. Okay, so what would change that is if we come back above this high. Okay, if we come back above that high, which is yesterday's high, then it can trade above this high, right? But as long as they've placed in that high on the H4, okay, it's looking like it wants to go down, right? So expect gold to drop. All right. Target wise, you can see we have clinical lows in here. Now I don't have an entry on this one for you, unfortunately, but I do know what it's trying to do, which is trying to drop. Okay, so that clean equal lows there, low resistance in here, equal lows down there as well. So look for that equal low first. Okay, this one here. So if you can get a sell, if you can get a sell in here, right, then target this equal low and then leave something on and see what they're going to do. All right, because it can entirely just drop, but because of the daily, it's a daily range, you want to respect that. Okay, so partial out and then leave the rest and see if they will go for that equal lows as I'm seeing. Okay, silver is another one. Yesterday we were looking for a buy here to go up there, and it makes sense. It didn't quite get to that high because they did have a break in here. So that was a scalp that we got during the New York session yesterday. I think there was one on gold. I've closed it, but we did get a buy from this imbalance to come and attack this high, which took forever. So with the narrative on gold, this one will be similar, right? I feel like they're gonna take out these lows. Okay, it's just too clean, right? And it's a market maker sell model. That's the last area of accumulation, and then they broke through that. Okay, so price is looking like it wants to drop. Look down here. For now, go to the lower time frame. Okay, for now, look here. It's two levels. There's a low gap there. I think that one has been used down here. Okay, look down there. I think that's where the next price leg is gonna drop to. Let me do this. Yeah, 168 is almost there, so I think that's where it might drop to. All right, so you can look for sell and target that for today and be happy with it. Okay, oil. Okay, crude oil in my mind is supposed to go up. I was anticipating it from here. That's why I wanted to go long, and it never got there. I'm still watching price. Let's see how it's gonna react above this high, previous day's high. Right, let's see how it's gonna react above this high, because it was supposed to come down here. I think it might. This might be a run above previous day's high, and then it will drop one more time here. If we go there, let's see where this level is. Okay, I'll have this one as well. I have that one as well, and then I'll be watching what price would do, because that's inside this down candle, so that's a good level. And then last one is here. I don't think it might get here, but this first two will be where I will anticipate a break in market structure. Okay, so this and here, that's where I anticipate a break in market structure. So we probably might get this thing to drop back down again. So watch. You can see it's currently kind of doing it, because that's a run above previous day's high, and then it's breaking down. All right, on the 1 hour time frame, is creating a bearish order block. So we got about six minutes, and then it's leaving two fair value gaps in there. So after the 1 hour candle closes, any retracement back into these gaps, right, is subject to sell. I like the first one. This would be, or this can be, the trade for the day. With partial profit, yeah, with partial profit somewhere here, right? But this one now has to close first, and then the next candle that opens, we want to sell the pullback into that gap. All right, so let me take a screenshot of this. I like keeping a record of okay. Dollar CAD, I think we did a session on Tuesday, and Tuesday, if you guys remember, right, I talked a lot about this one here, that this rally is fake because it was meant to go here, and I held on to the sell that I had on that day. Okay, and then it came back down, so I sold again in here after we hit this, and then we broke down, just like I'm showing you on oil, right? This candle is a bearish order block, so inside that, put it on the 15 minutes over there, inside that was this gap, right? Watch the 1 hour screen. Okay, inside that was that gap, so that's the one I sold, and I added to that position, and I got out exactly where I wanted to get out on Tuesday. So I missed out on all of these, which is fine because I had two positions and I collapsed them here. Okay, so if you did take part of that trade on Tuesday, well done. Today, um, we do have high resistance in here, so I'm anticipating some kind of a, I won't say a reversal, but some kind of a rejection, maybe a pullback back into this range, maybe back to this low here, and then maybe a continuation to the downside. All right, so I'm watching this pair. I'm watching this gap here. Okay, we should see some form of reaction in here. In here, we should see some form of a reaction. If it's able to break structure where we are now, that wouldn't be bad. If you're able to break above this high, that can send price back to this low. So watch that high. We want that high to give up first. If it gives up, then you can kind of anticipate a move back to this old low, back to this one. Okay, so let's see what dollar CAD will do. I think maybe during the New York session or London lunch, just keep an eye on it. Let me do this. Best thing is have an alert. So if we cross, not that one. Okay, if we cross, that's not what I wanted to do. If we cross above that high, right, that's a good opportunity to kind of anticipate and move back up here. Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin, based on the H4, right, this candle here, what I'm looking for is a move back down from this imbalance. If we don't move down from here, I think Bitcoin is gonna go up. Okay, because that move down is a sign of sellers trying to push the market down. So if they fail to hold to push price down, then I think Bitcoin is gonna go up, and I'll take this whole consolidation here, and then I'll anticipate them to trade above this high, that high, and trade into that imbalance, and then I'll treat I think it's on the weekly, I'll treat this low to this high as optimal trade entry. Right, I'll treat this high to this low here as optimal trade entry, and this is a this is accumulation, or if you're familiar with Wyckoff, this would be a Wyckoff accumulation, and then they'll start distributing to the upside, right? That's if this auto block doesn't hold. if it does, then we should see price go lower. So I'm going with the downtrend that we have right now on the daily and looking for continuation with this signal here. But I'm open to the fact that it could be a buy. So if it does go above that high, then I will anticipate a pullback and then I'll buy long. Okay, so that's what I'm watching on Bitcoin. As you can see, I'm short from this imbalance in here, so I'm selling there with a stop above there and anticipating a continuation to the downside. And it's similar to Ethereum. Let's go to the one so on Ethereum, I sold short here with a stop above that high again and expecting price to drop with that same narrative that sellers are trying to push price down. Okay, so if it's bearish, then we should not go above that high and go down. If they're able to go above it, I'll treat this as a pullback and then it will continue going up. So you can measure this range to that one there, and that's OTE, and we will anticipate price to come back for this high. But for now, I'm using this as the trend. All right, what about EU today? I think you were late. I did talk about EU. I said that they've gone for a previous week high, so that can be some form of a liquidity for price to go lower. But if it's going to go lower, I'm not interested in selling this pair because of euro pound. Okay, I'm not interested in selling this pair. I'll focus on the New Zealand and the Aussie pairs to sell instead of selling the pound or the euro. So I don't have, if I'm not going to trade it, it means that I don't have any view on what it's trying to do going forward. As it is right now, it has not given me any reasons to go long or go short. Okay, because this move here is done. Everybody now sees it. So if everybody is seeing this right now, two things will come into traders' mind. One, I missed out on the move, I'm gonna buy it. Right? People will wake up and then they will see this rally and they will be telling themselves, I missed out on that move, I think it's gonna continue going up, and they're gonna buy it. And then there will be other camps that will say, okay, I think we've gone high, so therefore price should go down, and people are going to sell it. So it's going to be a battle between buyers and sellers up here. So the best thing is to wait and see some form of a pattern that you recognize, which I will show you one, right? Maybe something like this, then you sell short, or or it's gonna create something like this and then you buy it, right? It has to create something for you to be able to participate in the trade now, because at the moment it's just going to be a battle. People are trying to sell short, people are trying to go long. You don't want that. Just wait patiently for a signal and then you execute. Okay, So I think pretty much that's it on these pairs, right? Now let's go to here. There are some pairs that I'm looking for continuation to the upside. This is one of them. Yesterday I wanted to go long in here and it didn't give me. I believe it's gonna continue going higher. So I'm gonna dive into why I think that is the case, right? And then I'll give you, based on what I'm gonna show you, pairs that you can literally just look and trade for yourself. Okay, so if you look at the futures, because that's where it's coming from, if you look at the futures, right, you'll see which currency pair is strong and which currency pair is weak, right? I have on my other screen, I do have something that I use in determining that. So every morning I wake up and I check it. I'm gonna show you that screen so you can see it. This is personal, don't ask me. I'm not gonna share it, but I'm gonna show you what I use. It's designed for me. Okay, so this is my other screen, and what I have here, right, is a dashboard that tells me which pairs to focus on. Okay, so this morning when I woke up, on the daily, that's where predominantly I basically look at. So if you look at the daily, right, I have here for the futures, if you're not seeing it properly, that's the futures. Okay, so ignore the chart. The chart is nothing to do with what I'm showing you. If you look down here, maybe my screen might not seem, or you might not see it, but this one is the Japanese yen, that's the Swiss, that is the euro, that's the British pound, that's the Aussie, that's the New Zealand, and that's the CAD. So when I woke up, I saw euro and British pound, and then I saw the Swiss. So I'm sorry, the CAD, which was indicating to me that the yen, the Swiss, the Aussie, and the New Zealand, all four of them couldn't confirm what I am looking for, and euro, pound, and CAD confirmed what I'm looking for. So when I see that, I can pair euro Swiss, euro yen, euro Aussie, euro New Zealand, pound Swiss, pound yen, pound Aussie, pound New Zealand, CAD Swiss, CAD yen, Aussie CAD, and New Zealand CAD, right? And then I can go on those pairs and then look at the price action and then trade them. So the one that I, paid more attention to personally was euro Swiss, pound Swiss, CAD Swiss. Okay, euro Swiss, pound Swiss, and CAD Swiss. So I'm gonna switch back to the other screen. Okay, so this is the other screen. Now let's go to those three pairs that I mentioned. So this is CAD Swiss, right? CAD Swiss being a buy. This is optimal trade entry. And then you buy it to continue going up. I have a target of 0.7 6441, right? So that's gonna continue going up based on what I showed you on the other screen, right? So this thing is gonna go up. That was a retracement to an auto block, and then we continue going up. Pound Swiss, same thing. Actually was looking for the long yesterday, and that didn't give me, so I entered long based on 15 minutes here. I entered long based on the 15 minutes here. Breaking market structure. This was a pullback long from here, right? And I'm expecting higher prices. My target is there and there, and they're just playing around that level. So this is another potential trade if you're interested. The other one is the Euro Swiss, which flew away. I did not catch this one. Okay. When I woke up, it was like here, this candle, and I don't like chasing price like that, but there you go. And I think it's gonna attack this equal high, this equal high. So there's still room to the upside. So if you do fancy a trade, then this is another trade that you can participate in, expecting price to go for those highs. Okay. Obviously, you can also look at the other pairs that I mentioned. So CAD yen, that's one. You can see it's very bullish. That was a retracement into that fair value gap. It's created a 1 hour swing low, 15 minutes pullback, so that's a buy. Targeting this equal high. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna trade up in here. Oops. It's gonna trade, continue going up till there. So this high will be a partial, and then you just look for continuation. So from this level, right, you can see what price is trying to reach for. Okay, so just look for longs only to continue going up. Any pullback you see is a buy. Okay, don't try to sell it because it's not a seller's market right now. Just continue buying. All right. The other one was let me go and check my screen. Euro Aussie and Euro New Zealand, which we actually have them here. That's Euro New Zealand, and this is Euro Aussie. You can see them making some incredible runs to the upside. Now, I did not get any trade on these, right? I personally didn't. I've been watching it for a buy. Not this one. Euro New Zealand. This is what I wanted to buy, but it never gave me. This morning I missed out. When I woke up, yeah, price was gone. Price was here. If I was awake, right, during this time here, I would have gone long with optimal trade entry right there. But I wasn't. I was asleep. So when I woke up, 7:15, this candle was up there. So I couldn't do anything about it. But it looks to me, I think if you are in that Telegram group, right, I have given the draw on liquidity on this pair, which is let's see if I can find it. Yeah, that equal high, this one here. So this is the draw, this high and that high. They are relative equal high or low resistance in nature. So price is gonna reach for that. Okay, so you can look for buys to continue going up. I like the auto block that they've left here. So New York session, if you see price trading back down, that's a buying opportunity from there. You can just stick a buy above that high, leave your stop loss below that low, and then expect price to rally to that level. If you want to use optimal trade entry, by all means do so. It's actually optimal trade entry, depending on which level you like buying, right? Whether 618 or 70.5 or 79, you choose which one, right? And then anticipate a continuation to the upside. And you can do the same thing for Euro Aussie as well. I think you can see they have clean highs, this one as well, that one. They just too clean. It's gonna reach for that, and this imbalance and that imbalance up there. All right, so look for buys on these two pairs. You can also look for a buy on pound New Zealand, because the pound was showing you on that dashboard, it was showing bullish whilst the New Zealand wasn't. So this also can be a buy. They have clinical highs in here, right? So you can go for that as well if you want to. Pound Aussie, not so much, because that one is still suppressed. We have the last impulse leg from here, so on this one maybe wait for a breaking structure first, then you can target this equal high up here. This is a level that we were watching yesterday, but we didn't go long there because we had this high. So for longs, price needs to break market structure at least on the H1 first, and then we can buy. If not, then it might probably come back down somewhere in here before going up. But I trust that I should not do that, because that would be too deep of a discount. We are at 70.5, so if it's gonna go up, it should do it from here and then go up. All right, so pretty much that is what I have for you today. If you have any question, feel free to ask. If not, then I think I am before I do that, the indices, it's also showing me some kind of signal to go down. On the H4, right, we took out this high. It doesn't seem like it did, but it did. Okay, it took out that high. And it broke down, taking out this low. Okay, this is a pullback, and what I'm looking for is this candle's low. So it's gonna trade to that candle's low, and then if it's good to go down, we should do it from here. Okay, we should not be going higher. We should bump into this candle's low here, and then it should reject. All right, so that's something I'm watching. The other two, I'm not interested. Okay, Nasdaq is weak, so I'm interested in Nasdaq. Okay, and on the downside, the level that I'm anticipating them to drop down to, it was on the 1 hour here. Actually, they have deeper into that. Let's go. On the 15 minutes. Here. This small little imbalance, that's where I'm expecting them to drop to. Alright. So what will make me wrong is exactly similar to the Ethereum. If they go above this high, I'm wrong. It's gonna come for this equal high. Okay, if it trades above this high, all this is what? Accumulation. It's gonna attack this equal high. It's gonna come and attack this equal high. All right, so for now, look bearish because the daily is saying so. If they go above that high, you change gears and then you target this equal highs, that one and that one. All right, so that's the indices for you. I only like this one. The other two not so much because they are not showing weakness. You can watch US 30 in here, right there. Okay, watch it in there. Maybe it might give some sell-off from there. This one, yeah, it's still trading within this down candle there. So, oops. Let's do that. There's nothing on there for me. Yeah, there's nothing in here for me, so I'll have to wait for something to be created. So just focus on this one and then watch US 30 for that level there. Okay, it's a short-term high just above an imbalance. If you study short-term highs and lows just before an imbalance, it's crazy. Let me see if I can show an example. this one is one. This high, we have imbalance in here, runs above that, hit that, and then drops. I'll leave that for you to go and study, right? Go find an imbalance and then see if there's a high or low just before that imbalance, and then see what price does, the reaction of price after that high or that low has been run. Okay. All right. So that's it from me. I appreciate you for joining me today. I hope you got what you're looking for, and I'll see you, those on YouTube, I'll see you on Tuesday, next week Tuesday. Those VIP members, I will see you later today at 2 p.m. All right, so enjoy your morning, have fun, stay blessed.